some people.
Hello, this is Charles Benninghoff, the second day of May in 2016, and today I'm going to be talking about Barack Obama's private army, the so-called Civilian National Security Force that Obama said he would create, fund, and operate, and he said that during his 2008 presidential run. Let's start off by watching this most blood-curdling, extremist, and yet largely ignored campaign promise, a promise that he has worked to fulfill nonstop, even while putting our nation to sleep.
We cannot continue to rely only on our military in order to achieve the national security objectives that we've set. We've got to have a civilian national security force that's just as powerful, just as strong, just as well-funded.
This is what he said. I'm going to restate it simply to examine a couple of the issues that are inside of the statement. We cannot continue to rely only on our military in order to achieve the national security objectives that we've set. We've got to have a civilian national security force that's just as powerful, just as strong, just as well funded. Well, let's look inside of what that statement actually says. And the operative word, the word that's the fulcrum of the entire thought, is the word we. Who is we? Objectives that we have set. I argue, based upon the intervening years since 2008, that the we is none other than Barack Obama himself. Nobody has gotten into this mess except Barack Obama, with a possible exception of the Muslim Brotherhood presidential and White House advisors that he has surrounded himself with, as well as having put them into various state agencies such as the State Department, FBI, and the CIA. So we have a situation now that is becoming ever more clear. But let's go for a second into the background of what this drive comes from and why it's so strong in the Muslim population. According to the website Wiki Islam, all Muslims are compelled to participate in the global jihad. Jihad for this purpose is a holy war against all non-Muslims. Jihad is an individual duty to all Muslims, and any Muslim who does not participate in jihad, which, by the way, includes modern terrorism, is a hypocrite to all the other participating Muslims. Barack Obama has been building up this army for years, and Congress has been asleep at the wheel. Indeed, all of America, with the exception of scattered Christians, including, of course, our followers, and other patriots, have fallen asleep. And this is why patriots like you and I have to speak out once again and wake up our Congress. Wake them up and get them into action. Well, let's turn and look at how this buildup has been happening. Cuba now plays a big part in it. We know that Cuba has been home to several Muslim terrorist training camps that were created even while Hillary Clinton was Secretary of State and under the spell of her Muslim Brotherhood-dominated personal advisor, Huma Abedin. Huma, it appears, is playing the Rasputin character to the Tsarina Alexandra Romonav, the last queen of Russia. How appropriate. So Muslim terrorists from the Middle East travel to Cuba, where they learn Spanish, and then it's just a 90-minute flight to Mexico. From there, they cross our southern border, and since Obama has ordered the Border Patrol to stand down, these now so-called Cuban refugees, who are actually Muslim terrorists, are automatically allowed into the country and given incredible social benefits. If you don't believe us, check the numbers for yourself in the Obama budget. And we posted a link to that on our action page, which we will provide in a few moments. On top of that, Obama took in 61,000 refugees in 2015 who claim to be Cuban, but surely have Muslim terrorists mixed in there. In addition, another 21,000 unclassified refugees, virtually all of whom are Muslims, have also come in. Those numbers don't even count towards the 70,000 Muslims that Obama brings in from Africa and the Middle East under the refugee resettlement program. Thus, now you know why the number of so-called Cuban refugees tripled last year. It's all part of the plan. From 2002 to 2014, America took in an average of about 20,000 Cuban refugees per year. But all of a sudden, we took in 61,000. And when did that start happening? After the terrorist training camps were set up in Cuba. And no vetting of so-called refugees is happening. The socialist mindset of the federal bureaucrats in all Western nations, including the United States, has blinded them, and they let these Muslim refugees in no matter what, so long as they are not white and don't speak English. Look at the refugee basketball player who was just arrested as a shining example. A star player for a Catholic high school was supposedly a 6'10" tall high school junior. Well, he turned out to be a 30-year-old refugee from Sudan who was a Muslim. No one mistakes a 30-year-old man who is 6'10" for a 17-year-old unless they are so smitten with a driving compulsion to make socialism dominate the world that it overruns their logic. This was willfully done, and it's happening here in America right now as part of Obama's effort to destroy this country. Do you need more evidence? Well, let's look at some of what is available. Federal agencies that have nothing to do with law enforcement are buying machine guns, ammunition, drones, armored vehicles, and amphibious assault vehicles, and stockpiling this material to distribute to the new recruits when needed. Meanwhile, our military combat units don't have enough rifles to train with, and our soldiers are buying body armor and helmets out of their own paychecks. This, according to Congressman Duncan Hunter from California. To me, sounds like that civilian national security force of Obama is just as well armed and just as well funded as our own military. Now, doesn't it? Jesus told his disciples in Matthew chapter 13, verse 16, "Blessed are your eyes because you see, and your ears because they hear." You would have to be truly blind not to see and hear what Obama is doing to America. Because we see the danger, we have an obligation as Christians to speak out and to stop it. Our country will eventually be overrun by these Islamic invaders intent on imposing Sharia law if we do not stop Obama now. How do we stop this? How do we make this work? We make a lot of noise. Just like we did with Obama's planned Syrian refugee invasion. We can stop it if we work together. You may not realize it, but Barack Obama's original stated goal was to bring 250,000 so-called Syrian refugees to America this year. He has only managed to bring in a reported 2,500 because we, Americans, made so much noise. A number of states are now refusing to even help the federal government in this effort because Christians are speaking out. Refugee resettlement from Syria has slowed to a crawl because we made so much noise about this danger back in 2015. This is the biggest untold victory that we Christians have had over Obama so far this term. So, here is how you can help right now. Obama is demanding budget increases to take in even more Syrian and Cuban, read that Muslim terrorist refugees, in fiscal 2017. We have to make noise with Congress and demand that they defund Obama's civilian army of Muslims. Obama cannot be trusted to do the right thing for America, so his funding needs to dry up completely. If you don't have the ability to contribute to this effort financially right now, you can still help. It's really easy. Just spread the word. Share this video with others on Facebook and Twitter, or email the link to this video to others. When we all speak out, Congress listens, and that is why Obama has only brought in 2,500 Syrians to date, instead of 250,000. If you are on our action page right now, you can use the form to the right of this video screen to send personalized messages directly to the offices of every single member of Congress, starting with the House Budget Committee. Click the edit text link in the message if you want to change the wording, because we never censor your message. If you are watching this video on Facebook or YouTube or another channel, click the link appearing on the screen now to be taken to our action page. Tell Congress to deny Obama's massive budget increases for Muslim refugees from the Middle East, Africa, and Cuba. Click the link and make some noise. This is Charles Benninghoff signing off and wishing you freedom, fulfillment, and God's blessings.
Satan can't make me doubt it. It's real and I'm gonna shout it. I was there when it happened, and I guess I ought to know.